Eileen Gu hit hard by personal setback after winning Olympic gold. Eileen Gu cried Sunday after winning gold in the freeski halfpipe in her second straight Winter Olympics. But they weren't tears of joy. The US-born star, who competed for China again, tearfully told the press that she just learned her grandmother, Wu Zhenfeng, had died. Politics, ex-NBA star has harsh words for Chinese Olympian Eileen Gu on Fox News. "She was a really big part of my growing up and someone I looked up to immensely," she said in a clip of the interview. "This woman commanded life, and she grabbed it by the reins, and she made it into what she wanted it to be. She inspired me so much," Gu added. "The last time I saw her before I came to the Olympics, she was very sick, so I knew that this was a possibility. I didn't promise her that I was gonna win, but I did promise her that I was gonna be brave like she has been brave. It's also a really difficult time for me now." Gu, 22, posted a photo gallery of her grandma on Instagram, writing, "Because I promised her I would be brave like her." By any count, a gold and 2 silvers in Italy to go with 2 golds and a silver at Beijing 2022 Iguz Games have been a success. She excelled again while being attacked for competing under the flag of her mother's native country. Gu is one of many American athletes who chose another country to compete for, but some suggest her heritage attracted more hate. Sports, Team USA has officially made history at the Winter Olympics. On Sunday, the most decorated freestyle skier echoed her intent to broaden the sport's appeal and inspire youth in China. "There are girls in China whose lives are going to be touched by the beautiful and wonderful power of sport," Gu said. "That, in and of itself, is absolutely measured impact that I think I had always wanted." Not in grams, she had trained her entire life to carry weight, but in meaning. When Eileen Gu stood atop the Olympic podium, the world seemed to crystallize around her. The snow still clung to her hair. The mountain wind cut sharp against her cheeks. Cameras flashed like winter lightning. Somewhere in the distance, a flag rose, and with it rose 1,000 interpretations of who she was supposed to be. Champion, prodigy, symbol, bridge between cultures, superhuman. The gold medal hung around her neck, cold at first, then warm. But triumph is rarely a straight line, and even for someone who makes gravity look optional, the descent can be harder than the climb. The silence after the roar. Victory is loud. It roars through stadiums. It trends worldwide. It fills headlines and floods social media feeds with slow-motion replays and teary-eyed commentators searching for the perfect word. Historic, legendary, once in a generation. But after the anthem fades and the cameras pivot to the next story, something unexpected happens. Silence. For Eileen, the silence came in a hotel room long after the medal ceremony. Snow fell outside the window in soft, indifferent spirals. Her phone buzzed nonstop, messages from friends, brands, journalists, strangers claiming ownership over her success. She scrolled through congratulations, flag emojis, and endless praise. And then she put the phone face down. The room felt small. For years, her life had been defined by preparation. The 6 a.m. training sessions, the controlled diets, the calculated risks midday, the hours spent perfecting rotations that lasted less than a second. Every sacrifice pointed toward one moment. That run, that landing, that score. Now what? The mountain no longer loomed in front of her as a challenge. She had conquered it. And in conquering it, she felt an unexpected loss. The loss of the chase. The weight of expectation. Gold medals don't just celebrate what you've done. They quietly demand what you'll do next. Interviews began almost immediately. What's next for you? How will you top this? Do you feel pressure to repeat? Do you feel the weight of representing millions? Each question was reasonable. Each one was heavy. Eileen had always thrived under pressure. She balanced modeling contracts with calculus homework, global fame with teenage normalcy. She moved between cultures with ease, comfortable speaking to audiences that saw her through different lenses. But the gold medal changed the equation. Before, she was the rising star. Now she was the standard. Before, mistakes were part of growth. Now, mistakes would be headlines. Before, she skied for the love of the mountain. Now, she skied beneath the microscope of expectation. The personal setback didn't come as a dramatic crash or public scandal. It came quietly, like a hairline crack in ice, almost invisible at first. It came as exhaustion. When the body whispers, athletes know pain intimately. They learn to distinguish between soreness and injury, between discomfort and danger. But there is another kind of strain, the kind that doesn't show up on an X-ray. Weeks after her Olympic triumph, during a routine training session, something felt off. Her timing was slightly late on a spin, her landing slightly unstable. The air, which once felt like a partner, felt resistant. She pushed harder. Champions do not ease up, but the body has its own language, and if you ignore its whispers, it eventually speaks louder. A minor injury, not catastrophic, but enough to force a pause, interrupted her momentum. It was the kind of setback most athletes face at some point. A strained ligament, a tweak in the knee, a reminder that bones and tendons don't care about medals. To the public, it was a footnote. To Eileen, it was a confrontation. Without training at full intensity, she had time to sit with thoughts she had previously outrun. Identity beyond the podium. Who are you when you're not winning? It's a dangerous question for someone whose life has been sculpted by excellence. Eileen had always been more than an athlete, a student, a model, a multilingual speaker navigating global spaces with rare poise. But in the months following Olympic gold, she noticed something unsettling. Every introduction began the same way. This is Olympic champion Eileen Gu. The title preceded her, defined her. She was proud of it. She had earned it. But she wondered, if one day she stopped winning, would the world stop listening? The injury forced her to slow down, to rehab, to watch others train, to observe instead of perform. At first, frustration burned hot. She hated feeling sidelined, hated watching teammates push their limits while she iced her knee and followed a recovery schedule that felt like detention. But in stillness, clarity often grows. She began journaling, something she had rarely made time for before. Pages filled with reflections on pressure, culture, ambition, and fate. She wrote about the thrill of landing a trick that once terrified her. She wrote about the loneliness of hotel rooms in foreign cities. She wrote about the duality of being celebrated and scrutinized simultaneously.